Hi everybody out there in Wasabi land. This is Jennifer with Oregon Coast Wasabi, welcoming you to our new video series, Wasabi 101, as you can see, filmed at our real-life wasabi farm. Today's episode is about how we trim our wasabi plants. All right, trimming wasabi plants. This is for all of you out there that order the rhizome from us. This is how we trim your plants. And you can see we harvested this plant. You're going to see that in the previous episode. So what we do is obviously we harvest the plant, kind of take a look at it, because what we want to do is make sure that in the trimming process that we don't damage this main rhizome. And occasionally, of course, that happens. I accidentally break it or something of that nature. But we try to take a look at how the plant is structured beforehand. And this is going to be important for you guys that are growing your own wasabi. When you harvest your plants, it's you're going to want to gently pull it out and take a look at how it's structured, so when you start to break it down or trim it, you don't damage that main rhizome. So the first thing we do is we're going to pull off some offshoots. These are offshoots, and they just, you can kind of hear that crack. They very easily just sort of break off, okay? And that little breaking part, that's fine, that's normal. We're going to break off all the offshoots first. And we sort by size. So the offshoots are going to go in one spot. The smaller rhizomes are going in another spot, until we get to the main rhizome. And for those of you that have ordered leaves from us, we actually harvest the leaves prior to harvesting the plants, because you can see these plants tend to have, you know, some dirt and mud and stuff on them, and we like to get you your leaves in a really super clean way. So we harvest the leaves beforehand. So at this point, we would go ahead and trim off the root mass. We're not going to use that. And make sure that, you know, we have all these little side offshoots trimmed off. Okay. And then we go ahead and we pull off any of the lower leaves, or on this plant, because it's been flowering, the flower stems, because those will get broken in the process. And what we're doing is a very traditional Japanese trim for wasabi. So we're trimming all this off. And then we take a knife and go through, and there's usually some very fine root hairs along the side of the plant. And we want to get those mostly off. We don't trim them completely off. And of course, as you all know, wasabi doesn't have a skin, so we're not trimming any of that off. We're mostly just trimming off the roots. And then getting to the bottom, we want to have it be kind of a taper at the bottom. That's also a very traditional way to trim wasabi. And so I'm just going to swish this in my bucket here. And there you go. That's our final product. At the very end, right before we ship, we trim off the very last of the leaf stems so they stay as fresh for you guys as possible. And then that's what comes in your order.